All right, so in this video, I want to show you something that happened yesterday. I actually got a picture I didn't expect, and the way it happened, I think is going to make a huge difference to my landscape photography journey. So yesterday morning I headed out nice and early to catch the early morning sunrise. I'd already planned where I was going to go, and I knew exactly the direction in which the sun was going to be coming up. So it was just great to get out and just have a really leisurely meander around a local forest. It was so incredibly relaxing. I kept my camera in my bag, not walking around with it in my hands, just hoping to pounce on something that could be a photograph, but instead just kept it in my bag as I just walked around. Now, even though I'd planned it to the point that I knew where to go and what time to go, I guess in the back of my mind I still was thinking I'd end up getting a picture. So although I was feeling relaxed, I also felt there was a little bit of me that was also searching. I just couldn't seem to release that searching for a photograph. Eventually, I'd gone all the way around the track that I'd intended, and I was pretty much back to where I started. But before I went back to the car, I thought I'd just kind of cut across and go into an area of the forest where there's a wonderful canopy above, and just grab a coffee and just stop, stand still, and take it all in. And that's exactly where you join me now. I just literally got to this particular point. There was some sun coming through the trees as it was rising in that kind of direction. Light was coming through the trees, and I thought I'd get the shot, but I kind of missed it. Didn't have everything ready, so that kind of shot went to nothing. So I thought I'd just park up in this place here, put my bag down and just grab a coffee. And I guess it was kind of while I was in that state of mind, which was not really thinking about photography, just enjoying the moment. I was kind of just standing here, listening to the birds, kind of listening to the morning wake up. There's all the sounds that you get in the forest of all the little creatures as they're kind of moving around. You can hear the odd break of a branch, or the sound of a bird singing in the distance, the trees kind of whistling and, well, not whistling, but rustling in the breeze. It was just so peaceful. And I think that really did kind of just change everything for me, because before now, even though on this particular trip I'd come out with the intention of being relaxed, okay, I'd kind of put into my mindset, taken all the advice that I'd gotten off everybody that had so kindly commented and emailed, just come here to enjoy it, have a walk around and really enjoy it. But when I got here, having the coffee, my mind's just kind of just drifted off, enjoying being here. Photography was kind of forgot about. Then I'm just looking around, just taking it all in, and that's when I noticed the tree. The light was just coming up at the right point to hit that tree, and I was completely drawn to it. The light hitting it was absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I just had to take a shot. So I just got my camera ready, and I just spent my time taking pictures, trying different apertures, different shutter speeds, and different angles, and just seeing what could I get. I was going for portrait, I was going for landscape orientated shots. And this was really interesting to me, because ordinarily I've kind of been thinking that landscape photography is photographing, as the name would suggest, the landscape. But it really isn't. It's all about just capturing things within the landscape as well. And this kind of carries on from what I said in the last video, which went out last week, if you've been following this journey, is that when I was down at Hartland Quay, there was so much to take in. It was overwhelming. I did not know where to go. And because of that, I ended up taking grab shots. And the one I ended up with, or the couple I ended up with, they were kind of okay. Not where I want this whole thing to end up for sure, but I guess it was something. But coming here, I hear people talk about forest photography, woodland photography can be really challenging. And I guess that's again because there is so much to take in. But it's when you stop and just stay in one place that you can just really calm yourselves down, and then you just start to notice things. I mean, even now, behind the camera, I'm seeing something that I think will make a great shot. Again, that kind of green growth, that vibrant green growth coming up over a stump of a tree that's been taken down just behind this camera now. And when I was kind of going home after yesterday, really quite pleased with what I'd got. You know, it made me think about Jay Maisel. Now, Jay Maisel is a very famous photographer based out in New York who's made quite a name for himself when it comes to street photography, which is definitely not my thing. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I know that one of the lessons that Jay talks about is not walking around the streets trying to find something all the time, because that's kind of similar to what I was doing with the landscape stuff. But he kind of just plants himself in one place. He finds somewhere that looks vaguely interesting and he just waits. And he just waits to see what happens, what comes by, what can he capture. Generally, he'll kind of focus on a wall, and then he captures people as they're coming past, and they make the most amazing photographs. And that's what this made me think of. Coming in here, grabbing a coffee, just relaxing and just letting my eyes just take it all in. And eventually it just screamed at me. Now, I don't know if this is sounding all kind of deep and meaningful. I really don't mean it to be. But for me, this has been an eye-opener, for want of a better phrase. Not to plan too much. Now, that might sound really crazy to say don't plan too much, but what I mean by that is there's all these apps we can do, we can look at that will tell us when the sun's coming up, which is obviously very, very helpful. Planning routes, planning this, planning whatever, okay. For me, at the stage I'm at the moment, that kind of feels like I am preparing myself for a mission. Now, if I was planning a mission, I would want success. So if I kind of talk about planning the mission of coming out to take some landscape pictures, it feels like, even though I'm kind of trying to make myself relaxed, I'm actually putting the pressure on me, because I've planned it, that I must end up with a picture. So yesterday when I came out and had a walk around the forest, yes, I did kind of know when the sun would be coming up and what have you, but I kind of got here and just walked and just relaxed rather than thinking I must get a picture. So it was minimal planning, which bizarrely ended up with me getting a picture that I'm kind of happy with. Alright, so I thought to finish off the video I'd bring you from the outside inside the office, as I've printed off some of the pictures and I wanted to just show them. So these are printed on my Canon Pixma Pro 10S, which is an A3 Plus printer, and the paper I've used is by Permajet, and this is called their FB Pearl 300. Hopefully you can kind of see that as I just bring that in front of the light just there. That's the landscape orientated one of the base of the tree. The lighting that came in was just insane when I stood there. Absolutely insane. And is that the right round? There you go. There's the other one. That's the vertical orientated picture there. That green was so vibrant when I was stood there. It was amazing. So yeah, I mean, how can I wrap this video up? I guess it's just to sort of say, like I have in the previous two videos, of the things that I'm learning, because this really is a steep learning curve, but I'm really enjoying it. But the main things I can take away from this particular trip out that I filmed is to, and this really benefits me, is to just stop. Rather than kind of just going to somewhere and walking around trying to take it all in, no matter how relaxed you think you are, just take some time to stop. And I don't mean for
10 or 15 seconds. I'm talking for a good few minutes. So it's always handy if you've got a coffee with you or whatever you drink, just take some time to have a drink, put your bag down and just take in the whole environment. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have got these shots. So that's something I'm always going to do from now on, wherever I go, just to kind of just slow down, put the kit down and just absorb where I am. So that's one thing. And the other thing, which I kind of alluded to in the video was not to plan too much. Certainly for me, if I plan too much, more than doing where I'm going and where the sun's going to be, if I do more than that, it kind of feels like I'm really planning a mission, which means I want to have success, which ultimately means I want to bring a picture back. So even if I'm trying to be relaxed, in the back of my mind, I know I've planned it, so I feel like I must justify what I've done to come back with a picture. And that just doesn't work for me. So ultimately, just to slow down, relax, and totally enjoy where I am and just see what happens. It's not the end of the world if I don't come back with a picture. That's one thing I'm definitely going to remember. But I'm enjoying it. I am really, really enjoying it. And having you folks kind of post comments as you have in the previous 2 videos, and also a lot of people have emailed me, that is a huge help. So thank you so much for that. But on the subject of the channel, if you do want to support the channel, and I really hope you do, just click on the subscribe button. It's completely free of charge. That is the best way that you can support this channel. Click on the bell icon. That means you won't miss out on any of the videos that I post to keep you updated with this journey, so you can see the successes, failures and happy accidents, which I think there'll be quite a few of. And then if you like the video, and I hope you do, just click on the like button. That's all you got to do. But for this week, that's all I've got for you. I will see you in a week's time, but in the meantime, keep well.